Hey there, Matt the Mortgage Guy. I'm here with Doug Reynolds from Coldwell Banker. Just a short conversation. As many folks probably know, it's a very competitive market. And I just wanted to talk to you, Doug, get your input, maybe some lending side input as well on how can folks stand out? How can you get an offer accepted in a market like we've got where there's 12, 15 offers on every house? I'll let you start and tell me what kind of tricks you got up your sleeve.
Yeah, so from an agent standpoint, there's a number of things you can do. I like to really make sure that my buyers are working with a good lender. That's why our relationship is so important. Is I tell my clients, I say, hey, get dialed in with Matt. I get nothing from Matt, my clients working with him, other than just knowing the loan's taken care of, it's squared away, I'm not worried about it. And on top of that, I can write a really aggressive offer. A lot of times, your lender that you choose might be holding you back from making a strong offer in this market, as far as how quickly can you close escrow, how quickly can you remove your contingencies and those types of things. So it's not just about price. Obviously, price is extremely important, usually the most important factor, but sometimes not always. And so to get your offer to stand out, there are so many terms within a contract that when you write an offer, as an experienced agent, you're going to understand the ins and outs of the contract and how you can adjust and tweak those to really make it attractive to the seller. So right away, you're trying to get a hold of the listing agent, find out what's going on with the seller, what's their scenario, what's important for them, are they moving somewhere, have they already found another place, what's going on. And that way you can really tee up the terms. Whether you're putting a higher initial deposit, that's going to be a strong term that can be helpful. Shortening your contingency periods down for inspections, appraisal, loan approval, shortening those down, adjusting who's paying what for transfer taxes and title and escrow, those types of things. Additionally, the way an agent presents their offer in their email and having a conversation with them is really important. I like to make mine very clear in an email, kind of bullet point it. Hey, here's some things within the offer that's really important that makes it stand out. And then a little bit of information about myself. I'm trying to kind of, without being arrogant or boasting, say, hey, I've been doing real estate for 15 years. You're gonna have an agent that knows what they're doing on the other side of the transaction. A little bit about myself, been a Master's Club member for 10 years, yada, yada, yada. A little bit about the lender. He closes transactions, he's available. Give him a call. I'll actually have him give you a call and tell you that their loan file is dialed in. And then usually a little bit of information about the buyers, as far as, just kind of their job is close by, they're about to start a family, just a little bit of information. There's kind of a gray area with that, of what you can and can't do, but a lot of times just sharing some is kind of putting a face behind the offer can be helpful to package that up. So it's not just price, there's a ton of different things that can be adjusted to really make your offer kind of stand out or look different than any other offers you're competing with. So I'll flip it back at you, Matt. What, from kind of the loan side of things standing out, what can you do so that you're putting your buyers in a better position than what maybe some other lenders might be doing to help them?
Sure, and I think I'll start with, just like you said, you're essentially trying to give some certainty to the seller. And so I do the same thing that you do, where I'm trying to let them know, amongst all these offers, you're working with an agent who's got a lot of experience, who knows what they're doing. You're working with a loan team that has done all the due diligence. We do not issue pre-approvals, and I don't call the listing agent, talking about complete loan files and getting to the finish line if we haven't done the work. So the fact that we've issued a pre-approval letter, and the fact that I'm on the phone, I'm saying, yes, I spoke with Doug as a team. We chatted about this file and wrote the terms that we wrote because I can deliver on those. And so your question around, what can we do is, as we've talked about in other videos, I've done a really thorough job of getting the client ready. So once this offer is accepted, we literally press play. We're not asking, oh yeah, now that we're in contract, let's get some documents from you. We've got all that done. We're not ordering verification of employment. We've got that done. And so literally when an offer gets accepted, I'm telling the list side, and I'm telling the buying agent that I'm working with, we need the escrow contact info so we can order fees, we can send out disclosures, we can get those signed, we can order the appraisal, because a lot of times, and it's not all the time, but a lot of times speed's important. And a seller who's got to sell for one reason or another needs to get closed quick. And so setting realistic but aggressive timelines on how quick we can remove that appraisal contingency, the loan contingency, and things like that. And so what I've noticed is as things get more competitive and you've got to write things in there that stand out to the buyer who's trying to, move to Idaho and needs to get this house sold, is, we might have to advise we're going to pay for a rush on the appraisal and try to get that back quicker. Or, hey, we haven't touched base with you in 6 weeks. Give us X, Y, and Z before the offer even goes out. We're preparing to close quick before the offer is accepted. We're not scrambling and doing that stuff after it's accepted. So it's important stuff. And really, it's a game of inches at times where there might be 14 offers and 2 or 3 are neck and neck. And I like to believe, and I tell my clients this, that the work that we've done and working together as a team, not just lender and realtor, but the buyer as well. Like we've come together to present something that gives the seller some certainty. And I think that's ultimately like what it is when I'm talking to listing agents and I'm trying to convey a message, is you might have a few offers that are really close. If another offer is possibly netting you $500 more, but you've never heard of this agent, or they're from out of town, or the lender is somebody you're not even sure if this is a valid pre-approval, that's a big gamble for a seller to take. When they're selling a $600,000 house, do you want to gamble for an extra $500, or do you want to take the sure thing with people who have a good reputation that you trust they'll make it to the finish line?
Yeah, as a seller, you want to get it right the first time. It's interesting how much the market reacts negatively when a deal falls out and you come back on the market. The immediate assumption is, what's wrong with the house? There's something wrong. I need to know, because they're going to try and hide it or something. And you go from a seller that's in a good position to all of a sudden people are assuming there's something wrong. So you want to get it right from the beginning. So as you're presenting our offers, we would want to structure it and, hey, this is a great team as far as agent, lender, and buyer. We're all solid. We're all dialed in. We're going to make this smooth for you as the seller. You should be wary of your lender if they're not asking for you a ton of stuff up front before they issue a pre-approval letter to you. Your agent should be talking to you about contingency timeframes and shortening those. It's incredible how many offers I get on when I'm representing the seller, and they're just not even touching the timeframes. And when you're looking at 2 offers and one's going to get it done a week to 10 days faster than another one, that as a seller is crucial to you. And so you need to make sure you're working with a lender that can perform on those shortened timeframes, because with real estate, emotions start to run high. And if you're not performing on your timeframes, you might be in a bad spot as a buyer if that seller starts getting emotional and they're going, oh my gosh, you said you were going to get it done in this time frame and you didn't. And who knows what they're going to start doing at that point when they get emotional and worked up about it and everything. So it's important to be able to write aggressive offers, but also be able to perform on those timelines. That's what Matt and his team's able to do by getting everything up front and being able to work through that. So that's a few strategies we're working with in regards to this competitive market where there's a lot of buyers, not many sellers out there. It really comes down to a little bit of differentiating factors sometimes. So feel free to reach out to Matt. Any mortgage questions, I'm available. Any real estate buying or selling that you might have in the Sacramento area. And we look forward to talking to you soon.